What's good, Greatness Gang? Welcome back to another mindset video. And today's topic is stop having a victim's mindset. Alright, so in life, from childhood to your teenage years, all the way up until adulthood, you're going to be dealing with many obstacles, problems, minor issues, major issues, trauma, what have you. You can't let that stop you in life. You might be having thoughts like, why me? You gotta turn it around and ask yourself, why not you? Because the harsh reality is, you aren't special. Everybody is susceptible to having major issues happen to them. But you can't always have the victim mindset of, why me? Or I wish this wasn't happening to me. Because things is going to be happening to you until the end of time for most people. But you got to change your perspective on stuff like that. A lot of things are just completely out of our hands. Some things you got control of to prevent certain things from happening to you or minimize the level of negative effects of that thing happening to you, but most things is out of our hands and we just got to deal with it. You got the option to complain about it and not fix it, or you got the option to take a step back and be like, okay, I 100% accept what's happening to me, or how could I change it after it has happened, or how could I use it in a positive way? Let's say, for instance, you coming from a tough part in your city, you had a rough upbringing, and you want more out of life. Like, it's not your fault that your parents didn't put you in a position to have a much better financial upbringing. So you could sit around and be like, oh, I wish my parents did this for me. I wish my parents did that for me. Or you got the choice to be like, okay, this is where I'm at currently. I know I don't have to stay here. I know why I don't have to stay here, because other people who came from here has gotten out of this situation. Whether you know them personally or not, you have the power within. We living in 2023. You have plenty of tools and resources around you to get out of that situation, so that you don't have to be a victim about it. I come from a very tough part of my city in Washington, D.C. I come from a single parent household. I've seen a lot of things. I've had a lot of things happen around me. But I was determined from a very young age that I'm not going to walk around with a victim's mindset. I said everything that happens to me is going to be used as fuel for me. How could I change my perspective about things that's happening to me? So, a lot of successful people that I listen to, or even if you probably like heard successful people in interviews, you know that a majority of them had the odds stacked against them. They had issues to deal with. They didn't let that stop them. A lot of them used it as fuel. A lot of them mentioned how they were grateful that some things happened, and how they feel as though if it didn't happen, it probably would have never changed their mindset to put themselves in a position that they are now. Like, a lot of things is, I don't want to get too deep, but a lot of things are connected. Like, say for instance, you living in a bad environment and you decide, hey, let me one day you like, hey, let me move to another city. And in that city, fast forward, you'll eventually start making connections or whatever, or building yourself up, improving your life to become successful. And looking back, you probably say, hey, if I never was in this bad environment, it probably would have never pushed me to move to become successful. I probably would have stayed in there in that environment and just stayed stagnant all my life. So I'm not saying when you're going through things, don't address it or don't seek professional help or handle it in a therapeutic way or whatever way that's best for you to handle things in a positive way. I'm saying acknowledge it. Like, okay, this is happening to me. I see why it happened to me, or I don't see why it happened to me, but I have to accept it. You just not completely disregarding it. I'm not saying that, because you're a human at the end of the day, and we all have emotions that we should release in healthy ways sometimes. I'm saying you see that you're going through something, but don't let it stop you. Don't let you fall in a drought of being a victim, because like I said, things are constantly going to happen to you throughout your life. Because if you live with a victim's mindset, you're going to be stuck in life. You're going to be held back in life. Every time a problem comes, what you going to cry about every single thing that's happening to you? Because that's not a good, healthy solution. And if you got people that's looking up to you and people depending on you to take care of them, you got to show that leadership. And you got to also show them that when hardship comes, how they can handle it. You got to eventually push back against what you're going through. Yeah, it's okay to take some time off, take a breather, get your mind right, feel that pain of whatever is happening to you, but you gotta eventually get back up and push against the obstacles that you're going through. Because if you want something out of life, those obstacles in front of you could just be a test, and you don't even realize it, seeing how bad you want it. So yeah, man, I want y'all to stay positive out here, keep a strong mindset, and always believe in yourself. And I appreciate y'all for continuing to support me and support the channel and the community. I got some new merch out. If y'all want to support and get y'all some of the merch, I appreciate that too. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Thank you, Greatness Gang.